we had an enormous economic recovery, but the minds of people had been so scarred, the memories. Parents told their children, 1929 became a symbol in people's minds. I mean, if you said recovery, but we had an enormous economic recovery, but the minds of people had been so scarred, the memories. Parents told their children, 1929 became a symbol in people's minds. I mean, if you said 1929, it was like saying 1776 or 1492. I mean, everybody knew exactly what you were talking about. In 1929, my dad, who was 26 years of age then, was employed as a security salesman by a local small bank. He sold stocks and bonds, but he mostly sold stocks. And when stocks fall 48%, and you were selling them to people a few months ago, you really don't feel like going out and facing those same people. So I think my dad probably elected to do, as they say now, shelter in place, which means stay at home. And there really wasn't that much in our house. We just had a small yard. It was wintertime anyway. My dad wouldn't have been puttering around the yard anyway, and there really wasn't, television wasn't there, and he and my mother got along very well. So under those conditions, I was born about 9 months later, so I didn't notice at the time that the market was closed. But the stock market had actually recovered over 20% during that 9.5 month period or thereabouts. People did not think in the fall of 1930, they did not think they were in the Great Depression. They thought it was a recession, very much like had occurred at least a dozen times, although not always when stock markets were important. But we'd had many recessions in the United States over the time, and this did not look like it was something dramatically out of the ordinary. Actually, for about 10 days after my birth, the stock market actually managed to go up all of 1 or 2% there in those 10 days. Well, from that point, the stock market went from level of 240 to 41, which was a noticeable decline, because if somebody had given me $1,000 on the day I was born and I'd bought stocks with it and bought the Dow average, my $1,000 would have become $170 in less than 2 years. That is something that none of us here ever experienced. That we may have had it with one stock occasionally, but in terms of having a broad range of America marked down 83% in 2 years, and marked down 89% of the peak was in September 3rd, 1929, was extraordinary. And in that intervening period, less than 1 year after I was born, just slightly less than 1 year, my dad went to the bank where he worked and had his account, and of course the bank had a sign on it closed, and so he had no job. He had 2 kids at that point. His father had a grocery store, but Charlie and I both worked for my grandfather. Charlie worked there in 1940, I worked there in 1941, so we didn't know each other. But my grandfather said to my father that, don't worry about your groceries, Howard. He says, I'll just let your bill run. That was my grandfather. Not exactly. He cared about his family, but he wasn't going to go crazy. And one of the things as I look back on that period, and I don't think economists generally like to give it that much of a point of importance, but if we'd had the FDIC, the FDIC started on January 1st, 1934. It was part of the sweeping legislation that took place when Roosevelt came in. But if we'd had the FDIC, we would have had a much, much different experience, I believe, in the Great Depression.
Yes. Let's take that down, man. That's a great video if you haven't heard it, by the way. Got my computer back up. So back up on YouTube, man. What's going on? So what we're seeing, if you're watching sector rotations, everybody tells me they want to catch sector rotations. What you're seeing right now is housing. This is the XHB, which is the Spider S&P Home Builder ETF, getting smashed down 5.5% or 5.3%. Home builders put out some bad stats today. Down pretty good. Builder starts, all that stuff. So you're going to see stocks that make up the XHB and these type of housing ETFs getting smashed. I'm thinking of like What did we show in here? We got Builder's First Choice, BLDR, the kind of stuff that make up this index. Lennar Corporation. We got Home Depot in there. DR Horton, Lowe's Company. So we have a bunch of these companies owning core and stuff for housing. So anything related to housing right now, if we go look, is probably being smashed, and that's the XHB. It is getting smashed. We'll see how low does it go. We don't know. If we look at other indexes, see, it's not just you got to go a little deeper. So there's 11 sectors that make up the S&P 500. 11. Okay, not that hard. You can count to 11. You can figure out the 11 sectors of the S&P 500. Matter of fact, you got 10 fingers. You could just borrow a toe, and then you would know. You could use your 10 fingers and one big toe. And you could use the other big toe, and you could say, I got 12 sectors and count Bitcoin. So XLB, still above the 20-day moving average. So if we dig a little deeper into today's sell-off, if we look at the XLC, which is communications, still above the 20, still a buy signal. If we look at the XLE, that's energy stocks. So everybody that owns all growth stocks wishes they had energy stocks. Well, no shit. You should have bought it when you were buying growth stocks, because that's when it was cheap. So these things take time to play out in the market. It could take 6 months, a year, sometimes for your thesis to play out, because these downtrends can last for so long. So oil's been still playing out. Do we break out above here? We're long the triple ERX. If you're in the money flow gang, we've been long. We bought over in here, bought on the last breakout. So we're still playing the oil game. As far as buy and hold in oil, I've not been adding to anything. To me, this is not a value. This is not a deal. So in buy and holds, I don't buy shit that's overpriced. I buy shit on sale. And if you just do that going forward the rest of your life, you'll just build out a portfolio. And when it's no longer cheap, it'll go up, and then your assets will be up. So very common sense here, okay? Common sense takes time. So you saw as they printed money, it took a while to get into the market. As they raise interest rates, it's going to take 6 months, a year for all that to take effect. So, but the market tends to act immediately. And we forget as traders that this shit takes time to implement, and that the market will grind you. You'll just give up, man. You'll just stop watching. I already see it with a lot of my friends. They just stop paying attention, and it's unfortunate. Don't let that happen to you, man. Let's see. Hopefully my cam is working. I've got a shirtless cam on. Let's see. Is it working? Looks like it's working, man. Capital Pursuit, what's up, man? So yeah, energy continues to do well. Exxon, Chevron, all the evil oil companies of the world, all the evil polluters are doing well, as they should. Evil, pollutant, capitalist always prosper. It's the way it's always been. So if you're on the wrong side of that, you're on the side that loses money. You want to smoke, drink, pollute, and drive cars that tear up the ozone. That's where the money's at. I'm sorry if that bothers you. It's just the way life is. You don't get to make the rules. You're just here. You're just here, and you're going to suck carbon monoxide whether you like it or not. You can drive your electric car, and you're still going to eat oil. So XLF, still above the 20. I like it here. What's up, Nick? I like it here. We've talked about this last week. Some of these banking stocks were added to the dogs of the Dow, man. If you're keeping an eye on the dogs of the Dow, these banking stocks started sneaking in. One of the things you do, if you go to the dogs of the Dow site, now this site pisses me off because of all their commercials. Dogsofthedow.com. Let's pull it up. I got caps locks on. Why you got caps locks on, bro? Dogs of the Dow. If you go to dogsofthedow.com, I talk about this in my free ebook. This is one of the great stock strategies that, for whatever reason, you've decided not to learn. You should really spend some time with this. It'll improve you as a man. It'll make you better. Your wife will like you better if you know this. Your children will have a better chance of going to college. All kinds of things will happen to you in life if you learn the dogs of the Dow. God, their ads, dude, is you can pay $5 a month and not have the ads. They're gross is how bad they are. So if you come over here, this was at the beginning of, it starts on 12/31/21. So we're going to have a new class coming in at the end of the year. But you don't have to limit the strategy to just that if you understand, what's up, small time, if you understand how stocks work. So these were the class of stocks. If you go look, you're going to see Amgen came off. Well, the reason Amgen come off because it's been going up while the stock market's going down. Coca-Cola has come off, and we've added J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs. If you do it in current time, and where is it? If you come over here on the website, you got to look around. You'll see where it says current doggishness. If you click that, it recalculates it in real time as if today was the day to buy. And if you notice what we see, J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs are on the list now. So banks have snuck into the dogs of the Dow. Interesting. And you'll notice they're starting to break out. Interesting, right? So now we got stage 2 breakouts off the bottom in a world where banks may make some money because they get to charge some interest rates. Let's look at the XLI. I know most of you have no idea what that is, and yet you know all kinds of other things. It's bizarre. All the weird facts you know. This is the Industrial Select Sector Spider ETF. This is for industrials. Things like 3M, Dow, DuPont. If you go look, their charts look very similar. So if you notice, housing is getting smashed, right? We talked about that in the beginning. Right here, the XHB, Spider S&P 500 Home Builder ETF. And I said at the beginning, there are 11 sectors of the S&P 500. So one way, top-down investing, meaning you're looking at the top. There's two forms of market analysis, by the way. There's top-down and bottom-up. Jim Cramer's a bottom-up guy, meaning he's trying to look at individual companies. Most of you are top-down, meaning you look at headline news and you think that applies across the whole stock market. Most people are top-down. But what you really, in real estate really taught me this is real estate is local. The rest of the country can be having a shit show, and in your area, it's a gold mine. Well, that's the stock market. You got to learn to read past the headlines. So as we go through, all we really see coming down right now is the housing stocks, which make up the Dow Jones, Home Depot, things like that. So let's see, what's Home Depot doing right now? Let's put Home Depot in here. Let's see. Came down a little bit. Still inside that stage 1, right? Why? Because it's part of the sector that's connected to housing. So all these housing stocks are coming down. What's up, Faraz? Let's see. Yeah, the XHB, boom, coming down big. Is this not an area I would play around with shorting? I want to short after we came off a big high and now we're rolling over. So you got much more room down. This wasn't a big pop-up. So that wouldn't be a trade that I would play in if I was on the short side, but I guess to each his own. XLB Materials. These are companies that manufacture materials in here. You're probably going to have, that's probably going to be your 3Ms and DuPonts. I haven't looked at that in just a minute. We already did communications. We already did oil. Oil's going up, continues to go up. Financials, I think you should really consider looking at some stocks here, or some banking stocks. I'm probably about to pull the trigger on J.P. Morgan. Industrial still doing good, still above the 20, still got breakouts. Target would be higher. Yeah, all the crackheads, you guys can put your trades on and play Tesla, and then tomorrow you can be like, I told you so. Look how smart I am. I guessed, and I was 50-50 right, and that makes me a genius. So you could play that game. Play earnings tonight. I mean, maybe go all in. Just buy like $1 million in call options. And then if you hit it, you could do a course. How you got rich trading Tesla. So technology, it's below the 20, but honestly, it's still holding the 5-day. We're still way off this anchor point. I like it here, man. I like it here. Consumer staples. We talked about this. Consumer staples started to run last week. The ETF didn't follow, but Campbell's, Kellogg's, Pepsi. If you remember, we talked about that last week. These were starting to run. Now, in the midst of this, as we break down all of this, what the hell happened here, man? Come on, man, what happened? Where'd it go? If we look at TNX, sorry, I can't see. I'm down to one now. It's $sign in front of it. This is the 10-year treasury. So when you hear about raising rates, this thing's going to keep climbing. You notice as this thing goes higher, the stock market tends to come down. They have a reverse. They kind of run reversed of each other. So rates have been going up. This is going to continue to climb up. Just gives you a visual picture. If you look at the dollar, UUP, look at the dollar. It just keeps going up. So as long as the dollar's going up, it's hard, very hard for, if rates go up, dollar goes up, stocks to go up. It's very, very difficult. There's no app for stock charts. You got to do like big people and just pull up the web thing. It works great on your phone, man. You don't need an app. You just pull up the browser, you log into your account, and it'll work just like you're on a computer. It works perfect. That's why I love it, because it doesn't have an app, because it's just the website. I don't use a lot of apps, I'm going to be honest. Even when I go to E-Trade, I know a lot of you guys log into the E-Trade app. Don't do that. Log into the actual website on your phone. You can go to a web browser, pull it up, log into there. You can see so much stuff besides just what's... An app just shows you numbers. What good is that? You want to see the whole... You want to be able to take in the whole movement of what you're seeing. So for me, I like to log in, see the whole count, see everything. It gives me a better idea. You want to start tape reading. That's what we're talking about here, is tape reading. So as we go through tape reading, we're not just looking at where's the SPY and the S&P and all that. We want to see where are all the... There's 11 sectors of the S&P 500. You have 10 fingers. That means there's one more than the number of fingers you have. So if you think about this and break it down, you're going to be like, wow, that's not that complicated. No, it's just 10, right? Or 11. But you got 10 fingers, so you could, if you add one big toe, now you have all 11 sectors. And if you use your other big toe, you could add Bitcoin. Now there's 12. There you go. And you could learn them all. And you could do them on your fingers. You could write on your fingers E, F, and that would be XLE, XLF. You could put an I, XLI, and then on your each finger, you could write the top 3 ticker symbols. And you could write these on your fingers. And you could go to work and everybody look at your fingers and you'd be like, look, there's an I, and then he's got some weird numbers and then or letters, and then he's got an F, and there's some weird ones, and then he's got a P, which is it's consumer staples, and then you have a couple. Man, if you did that, I bet at the end of that exercise you would know like 35 stocks. You'd be smart. Let's see. Real estate, XLRE, we see that being down as well. So right now, all the pressure on the Dow and the S&P is real estate related stocks. Banks, Home Depots, the Lowe's, Builder's Choice, brokers, financing firms, mortgage REITs, all of that shit weighs on the real estate sector. Now, here's a trade that I'm building up right now. XLU. XLU. I think this is bottomed. This is the money flow pattern, okay? And, you know, does it do it perfect? No. But when we catch big runs and it's way below the 200, You don't get often to get utility stocks trading a lot below the 200. This is a no-brainer trade for me. No-brainer. I'd be shocked if this didn't go back up into this range. I'd be shocked. I would be shocked, man. That UGAZF though, bro. Come on. What are we trading there, man? That's some crazy shit. What day did you start building XLU? A couple days ago. If you were inside the Money Flow gang, you would know that. Imagine that. If you were in it, I would have texted you a little message to your phone. And you would have looked at it before you looked at your wife's. Baby, I got to look at this. Gerald just sent me a text. You'd be at dinner and you'd get a text. I'd be like, look, man, I just bought this. Or I'm buying this right now. Then we'd be in sync, like-minded. So we've been building it. We bought right here. And I think I added a little bit yesterday. I'm looking to add today. I'm going to drip add this as this builds inside of this range. I'm not doing the XLU though. I'm doing the triple leverage for the trade, the UTSL. UTSL. Let's see. Health. XLV. Health. A lot of shit in there. Not a big fan of this ETF, to be honest. A lot of biotechs are down right now. XLY. Discretionary. This is going to be shit like you don't really need. That's why it's called discretionary. Big move down. Still off the bottom. So we're seeing everything that's weak is getting hit. Everything that's weak, you know, everything that's people look at the XOP. You know, you got Gush, ERX. These are just going to head higher. Oil's just going higher. Let's see. XRT. Now, if you remember, there's 11 sectors of the S&P 500. And if you use your big toe, you could say there's 12. And you could use, you know, for Bitcoin, you could say 11 plus 2 plus 1 is 12. And there you go. 12 sectors of the S&P 500. Inside of the 12, there's like 250 something subsectors. And you could get into those and you could begin to break that down. There's a lot of stuff you can look at in that if you just really wanted to. XTL, Telecom. If you go look, this holds Verizon, AT&T. This is a shitty ETF. Yeah, we're still buying Zim. What do you think, man? I'm some kind of sucker. I buy some stocks and I jump out of it. That's what you guys do, man. I'm trying to get rich. You guys are in here just fucking in and out like a bunch of crack babies. Oop. Look at that. I don't have much room on this desk, man. In and out like a bunch of just zzz, like bees. In and out, in and out. I want in, get me out. I want in, get me out. Yeah, man, we're buying Zim, man. Why are you? Of course I am. I don't know what you guys are doing. I'm a little shocked by the number of people that bought Zim, and every time I ask them, have you read the financials, they say no. It's like, what the fuck are you doing all day that you can't take 10 minutes out of your life to click a button and read it, man? Some of you guys own that shit and you haven't read it. Go read it. Like, seriously, you should not be buying stocks that you don't have time, you can't be bothered to go look at information on them, man. Like, you got to think on that shit, man. You know, you got to think on it, man. So even if I like it, you need to figure out why. Well, shit, why does he like it? Because you're not gonna have my, you know, my ability to stay with the trade. You know, some people are really bag holding Zim in the 70s. That's another term you guys use, bag holding. It's a stupid term. It doesn't have any, you know, maybe in trading we call it bag holding. There's no such thing in investing. We're not bag holding. Your asset got repriced. Now, if you're a trader and you're bag holding, I guess you weren't capable of using stops. So, I don't know. I don't use that term. It's a term for kids. But it's not. If I liked this stock at 70, why wouldn't I like it at 40? The reason people don't is they don't know shit about stocks. That's the truth. They know nothing. They actually know nothing. That's why. And the price went down. Now they don't like the company. I liked it. I love Bitcoin at 60,000, but I don't like it at 19,000. Does that make any sense on any place? That shit only works in trading, man. People only act like that in trading. Nobody does that with cars. Let's see. You should set up in your files, enough picking on people. You should set up in your files where you can come over here, click, and if you have my class getting started with stock charts, you can come over here and let's just whatever stocks you're following, small cap pharmacy, hit the button, click view all, and now I can just burn through them, right? Now that's a high risk shit right there. But let's say we looked at, let's see, portfolio 4 is one of mine, view all, right? So I can just start running through them. Look at Campbell's Soup. Look at that. Remember, we had the breakout move, and then look exactly where it stopped. If you remember, 9-10 days ago, we were on here talking about this rotation that was happening. There's your target. So we drew the line. It stopped literally, right at the high. Look at that. It stopped right there. Right there. So what you're seeing there is the money flow. Sideways up, sideways down, sideways. Right? Down, sideways, up. So when this breakout failed, it held the pivot point. So we stay with it, right? And so these are just ads. And then price moved up, and then it started to run, and where did it stop? Right where you thought it would, right at the previous high. Nobody wants to trade Campbell's Soup, though. Everybody wants to talk about Tesla. I don't know anything about Campbell's. I'd rather lose all my money trading Tesla. KHC didn't quite hit it, though, did it? So our target on KHC, still in there, still in the game, man. If I was trading it, big move down, sideways. There was our breakout day that Campbell's broke first, then Kraft, and now we're setting for a run to $37. Pretty nice, man. Pretty nice. Timothy says, what's the best way to learn about stocks? Well, Timothy, you could just be my friend, and I could just dump everything I know on you, man. You could just suck it up, and in like 4 months from now, I would have changed your life. Now, if I could get you to disconnect, stop spooning, and doing all the stupid shit you do on a daily basis in your life, since I probably can't do that, it may be a lost cause for you, sir. I don't know, man. I don't know. Timothy Smells. It's a weird last name, by the way. No weirder than mine, I guess. Man, Timothy, you're in a spot, bro. You bumped into me. I made fun of you. I could help you, bro. It's only if you would listen, though. Your girlfriend may not Timothy's girlfriend may not let him play with us. So then, I don't know. So here's what you do, bro. Go get permission from your girl. Don't act like you don't need it. You know you do. And then be a baller. Text me. My number's right there. I dare you. And then say, hey, I want to learn how to do this trade. Unless you're full of shit, sir, like most people. You a lot of talk. A lot of talkers. A lot of talking. Always talking. So text me. And then I'll hold you to it, man. I'll make you do this shit. Or I'll come on here on Instagram and make fun of you all the time and tag your account for being a quitter. So it's up to you, man. Let's learn. Stop bullshitting. I just wrote your name down too, sir. So next time you're on my live, I'm going to block you if you don't execute. I've given you a chance. I opened the door. I gave you my fucking cell phone number. What more do you need, Timothy? Do I need to come to your house, fucking send an Uber over, invite you over, and sit you down in my living room and hold your hands and look deeply into your eyes and invite you into the party? Would that help if I did that? Should I do that? I'll pick you up after work to make sure you can make it. So, I don't know, man. What No, I'm not a savage, man. I'm trying to help that kid out. He's going to go on YouTube and fuck around for the next 2 years, lose most of his money listening to these idiots out there, and then he's going to be all undiversified. He's going to be out there fucking with you guys, trading the VIX, trying to day trade options on fucking Tesla. He's so much stupid shit he could fall into. Right now, I could save him from a lifetime of nonsense. And 3 years from now, he's worth $400,000 or $500,000. He owns 5 properties. He's coming to one of my events. He's got $250,000 in the stock market. He's got all new friends. Or he could just keep doing what most of you guys are doing, nothing. So that's an option. Not all of you now. I'm just talking to the people, the new people, man. Not everybody. Timothy ain't giving up the spooning. Let's see. Yeah, B Durant, you're still not in the money flow gang, bro. That's sad, man. Why you so broke, man? You could have went out and drove for Lyft this weekend and joined for the year, and you'd be in. But instead, you took the weekend off. You were busy. Just like that. Could have just worked this weekend, covered it for the year, you'd be good. Instead, you didn't. You just relaxed. And now you're not. So, where are we at? Craft. If what you're seeing working right now is all of these really super high quality stocks, guys. All of these penny stocks and stuff, you need to be light on them, or don't have many. I wouldn't be trying to add to all these penny stocks. I wouldn't add to all these growth stocks. They're just not in it. You don't recommend day trading options. Yeah, Mike, if you just want to lose all of your money, I think that's a great way to do it. Day trading options sounds like a fucking winning idea. I mean, what could go wrong day trading options? It's just money. You can just get more of it tomorrow. So no. No, not what I do. Plenty of people that could show you how to do that though, bro. I got good friends that do it, so where are we at? Let's back up. Did I lose my Oh, we were looking at craft. So I haven't made any moves today, and yes, I'm still adding to Zim. I'm adding on stage ones. You got to stay with. Don't buy dividend stocks if you sell them if they go down. It makes no sense, 0 cents. You know, growth stocks, I get it. You get out, it doesn't pay you a dividend. You don't want to hold it down. All right, whatever. But with dividend stocks, it's just dumb. I was talking to a guy the other day who's a buy and holder, but he has stop losses on his stocks. It doesn't make any sense, man. I couldn't get him to see that. Let's see. That's about it, man. Uber today was pushing. I don't trust this move on Uber. Uber's trying to break out. I don't know. I'm not adding here. I don't trust this move. It's a solid downtrend. Everything's in a downtrend. But if we hold, and it's all because of housing, like I was saying in the beginning, Dow's holding. This is a stage breakout in the Dow, and we could see a push up in this 322, 325 range. This will keep dropping. This was the previous high, so you know that would be the money flow pattern, right? So if I'm looking at the Dow, and it won't do it exactly, but it gives us the blueprint. Sideways up, sideways down, right? Sideways, and now we're in the up stage. So we're 1 week into a stage 4 or stage 2 breakout, which was this day right here, right? This is our stage 2 breakout. First thing I do is look left. Are there any boxes to the left? And there is one right in there. So somewhere in here, maybe it pushes up to the high of that, we should anticipate price moving up. And that would just be the pattern of flow of how price moves in the 4 stages. That would just be this. It would just be sideways up, sideways down, sideways. So if I'm trading this, I was saying last week, if you're trading, drop down to these 1 hour charts, man. So if I was trading this, I want to be on that 1 hour, and look what happened on the 1 hour. We got a big move, and now we're up. You can see the pattern a little better on the 1 hour. And now we're kind of breaking down, so need to see what happens. But that high, look, it's right there, right? And there's a box. Now this is on a 1 hour, but you see the boxes? There's a box. There's a box. There's a box. So that's become support. So yeah, if we see this hold, then we could have a run up higher. That's on the 1 hour though. So one of the swing trades we just put on, UTSL. Well, we didn't just put it on, but let's see where that's on the 1 hour. Yep, we're back below the 20 now. It's not good, but it's coming back. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. I would drop to the XLE. These don't have a lot of volume either, these XLEs. But this is made up of like Southern Electric, Duke, Edison, those kind of stocks. You really want to get into these stocks. Appreciate you at Realistic Farms, LLC. Let's see. Adobe setting up. ADB. Let's see. Yeah. All of these techs are setting up, right? I don't know, man. It's hard to be too bullish, but I am bullish. We had a big move out of Core Holding MFA yesterday. So if you go to page 18, it's down a little bit today. Big pop out of this stock. I have a shit ton of this stock. It's a mortgage REIT. They've been destroyed. These were great buying opportunities in here, though. This is when you want to buy mortgage REITs, when times look the worst, when mortgage rates are all fucked up. That's when you want to accumulate these kind of assets and then just sit on them. So these will drip you money. So you just sit on these and just hold them for the next 50 years, and it'll be a shit ton of money. You just need to collect some of these. Don't just buy those, but when they're on sale, buy some. The dividend yield on this one now is ridiculously high. I'm sure they're going to lower it. Should I wait for the housing market to crash before buying your first home? No. Back to what I was saying, sir. Housing is local. It's not going to be the same everywhere. So in your area, housing may be a great deal right now, man. You want to buy your first home because you got some money. Honestly, you're probably not ready to buy your first home. You're probably still figuring out how to match your socks and just get to work on time. But let's say you've gone past just getting up as an adult and getting to work on time. Let's say you're past that and now you have a credit score. Well, your credit score should be 700. You need a solid I highly doubt you have a big enough down payment. But if you do, if you got a 20% down payment, that's what I'd be trying to do. As these prices are coming down, I would be saving up for a 20% down payment. So you're going to have prices coming down. You're saving up. Those two are going to meet somewhere near the bottom. Right? Like you don't want to run out and put 3% down. If they're coming down, like every week I see drop 5,000, drop 5,000. There is no crash. There's no crash. It's just prices are pulling back. There's not going to be a crash, guys. I don't believe that at all. There's just too many people that want to buy houses. I have money, and I'm waiting. So I don't see how it can crash. Certain areas could come down more than others. But if you get your stocks right, you get to work on time, you got decent credit, get that 20%, man. Get that 20%. Stop bullshitting. And put it down and get that property, man, and you can do it. As interest rates increase, do you think REITs become cheaper as housing prices fall? Yes. That's why you definitely want to be paying attention. Don't try to bottom time it. You're not going to buy enough is the problem. The problem when people try to bottom time is you don't have any money. I meet guys with 30 grand trying to time the bottom. It's like, bro, you're going to get it because you're going to consistently put in money over a long period of time. One transaction means nothing. You know, timing and getting one house at just the right price, who gives a shit 10 years later? You're not even going to remember. You're not going to remember. I don't even remember what the headlines were last time it happened. Like, I don't remember. I barely remember what I ate yesterday. So most of the things that people worry about is just complete nonsense as you go forward in life. Remember all the shit in high school you were worried about? You don't even remember it now. You were going to commit suicide. You were so sad. Now you don't even remember what her name was. That's the same in the stock market, man. 3/4 of the way. Congratulations. That's pretty cool, man. I'm happy to hear that. I love hearing that. I would keep stacking that money and keep watching the prices come in, and then I would be happy to pull the trigger. I bought houses every year, almost every year of my adult life. So, I don't know what you would wait on. MFA was a good one. AG&C is a good one. If you're in these mortgage REITs, ooh, I like AG&C here. Fuck. If I had your money and I wasn't in this stock, my God, this is such a good spot to buy some. Even if it goes lower, this is a great spot to buy some. Let's see. Pull up on a weekly. Look at this. Look, this is going back 2 years. All right, let's go back further. Oh, let's pull this up. Let's get a visual, man. Let's get a visual. Now, this is also a lesson. Listen up, kids. This is also a lesson. REITs do not go up in value like growth stocks or regular stocks because all the money comes out. So imagine if you ran a business, you know, like your life, and you made your money and you just spent all of it. Well, your net worth would not go up. That's what REITs do. They tend to take all of the profits and they give it to their shareholders. And the only way they can raise money is to sell more shares. And then they take the money they raise from selling shares and then go invest it in whatever REIT product they invest in. Look at this sell-off. 50%. Wow, that was like 70%. That's a pretty decent one. Man, look at this run from, this was 2008 shit back in here. So, AG&C has been to $1, guys. I don't know how much you're going to like OGP if it goes to $1. You'll be like, fuck the money flow, man. This shit doesn't work, man. I'm out of here, man. This doesn't work. It's been there before. I've owned it there before. It can do it again, man. I don't even remember spooning yesterday. Man. I might end up being known as the guy that doesn't spoon. Yeah, so keep an eye on that. Notice this, though. What is the highest this stock has ever been? $16. What's the lowest it's ever been? $1. That's in a 12-year period. So if you buy into these REITs, you know, these aren't things for traders, not really. Unless, here's where they do become things for traders. When you see this kind of shit happen, you buy a bunch. You see these kind of things happen, you buy a bunch. And one day when the world gets back to normal and our president doesn't pee himself at the stage, it'll come back up here, and then you can unload some to buy other stocks. Or keep it and just collect your dividend. You know what your return is when you buy some shit at $7 and it goes to $50 and it's paying you dividends? It's infinite. Infinite. So one day, but just keep in mind, they can go a lot lower. Look at O. This is a very popular REIT. You know, it's been as low as $7. Back in the housing crisis, it was $7. So if OGP's wrong and we did get into some contagion and shit got real bad in real estate, the reason this hasn't come down really far is that the real estate value just has not come down very far. Most of their loans are fine. People are paying rent. So the price really has not come down very much. You know, so let's see. Yeah, a lot of you guys would be out, man. You'd be like, "Oh, I'd be out of AG&C if it fell to $1." It's like, yep. In the greatest of buying opportunity in your life, most people will blow out. That's why you got to work on this mindset, man. So Ford is breaking out right now. Look at this pattern, dude. Look at this pattern. Look at this. Stage 1. Look at that breakout day right there. Bam! As a trader, my target is what? The first zone of resistance on the way up, which would be in this zone right here. So as a swing trader, if I broke this in, that's your swing trade. If you're a trader, that's your trade. Bam, bam. You hit it. You hit your target. And then I would scale out and I would follow the money flow. If it was a swing trade, I'd keep a little on, let it drift, drift, drift. Once it gets to 3, I'd take some more off. Once it starts to roll, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. If I'm position trading, I don't typically get out. I might trim. You just got to depend on how you're looking at it. But look at this beautiful rollover. This has been amazing. Now we're getting ready to run again. So where would I think it would run? I don't know. Probably up into the 14, 15 range. Probably up in the 14, 15 range. Well, hello, Brittany Brooks 495. We were waiting on you. It's been a long time since we had a female bot in here. People are always need a place to live. Real estate will come back up always. Very true. Not always all areas, though. Just like we always need funeral hikes because people die daily. Same thing. Wow. It's a very, I thought I was upbeat and lifting. That's a good one. Hey, look, bro, everyone dies. So there you go. We need that guy to be our financial advisor. That was dark and cheery. Dark and... Oh, PM. Let's look at PM. This is one I was looking at yesterday. So Ford looks real good right here, man. I might be tempted to add a little bit to Ford. PM. This is another one. I love anything that pollutes the earth, harmful to humans, destroys the ozone layer. All those things are always great investments. Okay. Anything clean, green, and healthy, horrible investment. Just as a general rule. Okay. As a general rule, if it's awful for you, if it's sinful, if it'll make you fat, if it'll kill you, those are the best investments because people love that stuff. What is happening right now? I get a call. Let's take that to message. I'll send him a text. You guys thought I didn't have friends. I have a couple friends. Let's see. Not many. My New Orleans friends are funner, though. All they want to do is party. Sir, stayed in Voodoo, New Orleans too long. You're dark today. All right, man. You guys thought I didn't have friends. That conversation proves it. And that was not my real estate agent. Yep, I like PM here, man. It's undervalued. This is a great dividend stock. Everybody smokes cigarettes. It goes up. Cigarettes are making a comeback. As much as that hurts some people's feelings, it is happening. I like PM here. Yeah. Oh, the Procter & Gamble rip. These are... Yep. Breaking out of Procter & Gamble. This is when you guys want to start adding these type of stocks, these Procter & Gambles. If you're inside the money flow, you may look and see, I have this in my portfolio, but I'm not buying any. And it's like, I have a bunch. I've been doing this for 20 years, so I don't need any. So I'm looking at other things. But if you're building out your portfolio and you see I own it, I mean, that means I own it. I like it. Doesn't mean I want to buy it today. But there could be reasons that I'm not, that you could, meaning you don't have a big position, so you might want to buy it. Make sense? So we won't necessarily be buying the same things at the same time because your position, your portfolio is going to be different than mine are. Um, and I'll end with this. I've been trying to say this everything. Let's say you're loaded up in a bunch of stocks. You no longer trust these stocks for whatever reason. You think you should buy dividend stocks. I say you should have both. In that scenario, most of the time, I just start committing new money to the new thing. Meaning, like if I wanted to buy Bitcoin, I'm not selling stocks to buy Bitcoin. I'm putting new money in Bitcoin and I'm keeping my stocks. So in a perfect world, I'd keep all your old shit and I'd add new money to the new shit. Now, if you need to sell things or just want to, then I would just start trimming it. I would trim this, buy a little of that. Trim this, buy a little of that, put some new money in. As you do this over weeks and months, you will change the nature of your portfolio, and anything stupid or dumb you think you've done will become a memory in the past. And the more solid you make that, the less important that'll be. Soon you'll forget all about it. That's just how it works. What's up? Let's see. So yeah, again, if I'm trading, I would focus on these highest of quality stocks. If you notice, I haven't been adding DS. I'm not adding to any of those. I really don't think they have any shot of working here at all, unless we get a really sustained rally. No, I wouldn't worry about what their dividend payout date is it's such a small right now. Um, I wouldn't even worry about it unless you're div hunting or something. But usually you need more money to do that, man. Nobody likes Sony, man. Let's see. Oh, hell no. No. No, man, there's so much better stuff out there. So much better stuff, man. I guess that's it. Really today, my lesson, I just wanted people to think about these 11 sectors of the S&P 500. You know, it helps you when you see the market being down is you can then, you can jump in and see, okay, why is it down? And if I was you, I'd build a little folder like you see I have here. Like here's Kramer's Trust. These are all the stuff he owns in his fund. Crypto list, Dividend Kings. As I read articles, as I research, I drop them into, like anytime I come across something Barron's and they're talking about income or dividends, I'll drop it in there. And this allows me to then, as I have time, to come through and scan through these. So the spiders, I'll come through and let's see how is the S&P looking. And as we start to break it down, looking at each sector, well, it doesn't look that bad. Oil's breaking out. And as we start going down, we can figure out, okay, what's doing the worst? And that could be a couple things. If you're a short seller, that's obviously plays for you to short. But if you're bargain hunting, that gives you stuff to keep an eye on, right? He says the ticker BBY makes me laugh. I don't know why. That's because you have a porn addiction, sir. And that's coming out into stocks. Let's see. You're very welcome, Lisa. And Tim, I was picking on you, sir, earlier, but I was being serious at the same time. Let's see. Yep, that's what I would do. You guys pray for Tim that he makes the right move, and we can fix his life, man. I had a feeling in the force, man. Sometimes I can feel it, man. This guy he needs me, my help. He needs it. I can feel it. He's got all these things pulling on him that are just awful, and his friends are pulling on him, and they're like, "Hey, man, let's go out and wholesale. Let's buy this course on wholesaling property." They're pulling on him with all this ridiculous stuff, and the good stuff, the solid stuff that's gonna build that foundation, make you wealthy over the next. They put that stuff off, man. I can feel it. Let's see. We need to fast for Tim. Now, don't get carried away, man. I gotta eat, man. So here's what my text is, guys. I forgot I'm even on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. I only got one screen, so it makes it hard for me to appreciate you, Steven. I can't see both screens. Like right now, you guys can see the YouTube. I only have one screen here. I only have so much room. This is one of the things driving me crazy about my setup in New Orleans. I have very limited room. Here's what my friend texts me. He's a contractor, so anywhere I go, I like to have. These guys are not stock guys, but they work in the trades. Close enough. Okay. This is a guy you see me. I volunteer to paint with his construction crew. So when you guys take days off to hang out with your friends and family because I need a break, I need to recruit, I go volunteer to work construction on my days off because I need to work with my hands. I need to feel like I'm doing something because when I just sit home with no properties to work on, I feel like a fat slug. That's what I feel like. I just feel like a loser. Like I'm just sitting at home, no properties. It makes me feel awful. Even though I own properties, since I don't have any to work on here, and I'm not kidding at all. Like it makes me feel sick. Like I start to feel like I'm dying. I need a house to touch. I need some equity to increase. Give me the keys to something. Like that's where I'm at, man. I'm about to go absolutely fucking crazy in this town because I don't have properties to work on. Imagine if you had that urgency in you, like that feeling was eating you every day. It eats me, dude. Like if I don't have property, it eats me. When I see people like on Instagram posting, "Oh, I bought this deal," I'm just like, "Oh, motherfucker." When I watch, like my friends think I'm I'm not happy for them. I'm jealous, man. I'm pissed that I didn't get one. I don't give a shit what you bought. I'm trying to get mine. So a lot of times when I see that, now I'm happy for my friends. Don't misunderstand me. But then there's that conversation that I'm having with myself. My friend Robert Biggerstaff has bought 7 deals since I bought one. And it's killing me. It's killing me. I told my wife the other day, I said, why am I a loser, man? How the hell is this guy bought 7 and we're just sitting here in our second home like we're fucking, what is happening to me? So anyway, that's the game GP plays with himself, man. When I'm playing with myself. Not like you guys think. Okay? So that kind of thinking can help you because it can drive you. And I don't mean in a bad way. Anyway, here's what this dude texts me. Give me a shout when you can. I need an anchor person on the end of a ladder for about an hour. 2 doors down from Joe's house. I'll come get you if you can. I'll buy you beers. They think I'm so cheap they can buy me with beer. What the fuck? How well they know me. You can buy me a beer and walk me off a cliff. So, I guess I'm going to go do some painting, man. I'm going to go help these guys out with the property. But honestly, though, for real, though, that feeling is real. I do like to work, and I will volunteer to work on other people's properties just because I like to work on properties. And I like to, because they got to clean the mess up. So it's like cooking in someone else's kitchen and somebody else does the dishes. It's kind of fun. Anyway, this is a guy. He's already taught me some shit like on drywall that I didn't even know, man. This dude knows some shit, man. So I'm going to go help him out. But here's the cool thing. I got a painter that owes me. You get what I'm saying? And he's got people that owe him. And so as I'm trying to work my way into this community, I need people that I can just pick up the phone and be like, hey, man, I need you. So he just texts me. He's on a job and he's short one man. So if I go help him out, when I get property here and I need help, he's going to come help me out. So you definitely want to build those kind of relationships, man. It's a different kind of spooning, so to speak. It's a different kind of spooning. I do like Google here. I'll post some pictures on my story if they're into anything good, man. Appreciate you guys. Anything I can do to help you, let me know. If you want to trade with us inside the Money Flow Gang, that's my text number. Don't send me any weird pictures, man. I don't flow like that, guys. And don't call it either. I won't answer the phone, but I will text you back. I answer all my texts, all my DMs, all that kind of stuff. Those are me answering them. So keep that in mind. We'd love to have you trading with us. We got a Discord group. We trade together. A lot of like-minded people. A lot of people. There's people in there smarter than me. And trying to stay the course, man. Keep each other motivated. That's what it's about. If anything I can do to help you, just hit me up, text me. Get my free ebook, and that'll teach you 90% of what I know. God bless. YouTube. I didn't look at, man. I've totally forgot I was even on YouTube for a second. Haven't been on YouTube in 9 days, so I almost forgot I was even on YouTube. What do you think about HBI? Hanesbrands? Yeah, I like Hanesbrands, man. Smash the likes, beer o'clock, painting and drinking, 40 cents short. Less. I know, bro. It's what I was just thinking. It's fucking cold outside, and I do not want to wear pants. So I think I'm going to be cold today. No, it's hard not to get scared on $1. And I'll give you an example, and I'll get off with this, of GP breaking down while trying to encourage everyone else. In the 2000, look at Welltower. So I've rode this stock from as low as 20 to as high as 96, back to 59. When COVID hit, this is one of my largest positions at the time. It fell from $85 to $25. And it looked pretty catastrophic. And I had a friend that owns assisted living home. This is an assisted living home. And this is an assisted living home. So I called my buddy that owns one. And when I talked to him, he's in a total panic, man. Like, they're going out of business, the COVID rule. I'm like, Jesus. Like, you know, so it was a moment there. And I didn't back up the truck because of all the uncertainty around he owns one of these businesses. And I didn't back up the truck. And I really, 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 really regret that. I did in others, but I really regret it that I had a moment where I even doubted my own conviction. And I had a lot of time going back and forth with people that were in that business. And I reached out to them. I got buddies that work on Wall Street through the and talking to them. And I should have moved on those in a bigger way. And I chickened out, and I didn't sell anything. But it's like, you really, really want to develop any conviction you think you're going to need now when you don't need it. Because when the day comes, if you haven't built that muscle, you're going to be in a world of trouble. So work on it, man. Work on it. That's all we can say is work on it. Appreciate, let's see. Jets, airlines, I meant to bring that up. Jets is doing well. All the airline stocks are still doing good, man. I'm just watching today. That ugly number, I was waiting to see if that was going to bring down, when housing number came out. Look at that. 6% today. God bless. Yeah, I haven't made any big moves on Hanesbrands yet either. It just keeps drifting lower. The dividend's coming. We're going to get some more shares. I don't think there's any rush on this stock. If you don't own any, I would buy some here. I've been saying that for $3. So, these things can take longer than we anticipate. But just spread your money around, man. Don't feel like you're married to a stock. Spread your money around. Each Sunday, I try to look at my portfolio and I say, what are 2 or 3 names that are set up here? And, be ready to call an audible. But I like to go into Sunday night with a plan of 2 or 3 stocks that I'm going to target any new money. That might be $100. It might be $1,000. It might be $10,000. It's just, what are a couple positions that are set up? They're stage 1. What are a couple that maybe I can trim? Because then I could trim them and I can raise money. And so I'm going in every week looking at that. And then I try to stick to that plan. That's why you don't see me mentioning every single stock, because I can't buy every single stock. And so I'm just kind of watching what I do and trying to make sense on the portfolio for what I own at this time. And that's all you can do. You can only play the hand you've been dealt, man. All right, man. Appreciate you guys.